In this video, I'm going to show you 3 different ways to fix controller stick drift. So what causes controller stick drift is, in most modern controllers, they have these potentiometers here. And what happens is they're just wear and tear, and they eventually wear out. Sometimes it's faster, sometimes it takes a lot longer, but alas, it is a plague that plagues everybody. Everybody will get hit with stick drift eventually, unless you use some of the other methods that I'm going to show you today on how to fix them. But method number 1, I'm going to show you how to replace these potentiometers. It's fairly easy, and you can get these online. They're fairly inexpensive, so I'm going to show you method number 1. Okay, first off, you're going to want to take your controller apart. So you're going to have 5 screws. You're going to have one here in the middle, one here in the middle, and then you've got one here, one here, one here, one here. Get those all out. Okay, once you get all 5 out, you can remove your faceplate, pull off your thumbsticks, pull the controller away from the housing here. You need to get, there's 2 screws here, one on this side, one on this side here, and one on this side here that need removed. That is stripped. These are different size screwdrivers too. So the bigger one is a T8. It's a TR8. I can focus on that. Got a TR8 here. And then the smaller one is a TR6. Those are the 2 you'll need. You take a solder gun. You want to remove your rumble motors here. Get these wires off. Okay, so now what I typically like to do, just so I don't get confused, I like to mark these. So if you're having stick drift on the y-axis, it's always going to be the one on the right. So either thumbstick. If it's the x-axis, it's going to be the one on the bottom. So what I like to do is just come in here and I'll mark them. So I'm only going to be replacing that one because that's the only one I'm having stick drift problems on. So what I like to do is I will come in here, I will pop this out, and I wouldn't worry about breaking it because it's already broken. So you're going to pop it out, and then I like to pry it back and pry it away. Apply some flux, excuse me. I'm going to apply some flux here, and then I'm going to use the solder gun to heat this up and get the solder to loosen. But before that, I'm going to add some solder here because this is lead-free solder and it's kind of a pain to get out. So I like to add this leaded solder, just a little bit to the solder gun, add it to these joints. Just makes it easier. So now all I'm going to do is go through and heat all this up. You can use a solder wick to come in here. Try to get most of the solder off. Once you mix the solder, it comes off pretty easy. Get it mixed, and then if you get all the solder off, this should just come right out. There's still a little bit on this back end. You kind of just wiggle it till it comes out, just like that. So that's out, setting it to the side. I'm just going to do a quick inspection, make sure that my holes are free, and then I'm going to go through here, grab the new one, stick it in through the holes, gently push it down until I feel it hitting all the way on the board, and then I will snap it into the thumbstick. Get it snapped in. Then we're back here. Gonna add more flux, and then we're gonna add a little solder to our iron and just solder it back. Nothing too crazy. This is pretty easy to do. As long as you got a soldering iron, you should be able to do this. And that is it. That is how you replace your potentiometer. So now that we got it replaced, we can go ahead and put the controller back together. So that is method number 1. If you want to buy some replacement potentiometers, like I said, They're very cheap and it doesn't take much to replace these. So now we are going to go on to method number 2. So now on to method number 2 with stick drift. I'm going to be fixing it with one of these. You can just solder it on directly over your thumbsticks, and then you can adjust the resistance here. I've never actually tried these out, so I'm actually excited to do this. What I'm going to do is I'm going to remove the solder from both of these, and then I'm going to install these pads here. The reason I'm removing the solder is because there's a lot of fat solder balls on this. This one's still stock, so this one would probably be okay actually just to go over the top, but I'm just going to go ahead and remove the solder anyway from both of these. There's no way you could do this without a freaking microscope. Okay, so now that I got these installed, you've got these different little screw adjusters here, and adjusting those will bring in the drift. So where this one, we're drifting to the right and down on the left stick, we're going to adjust this, pulling it up to that line, which is good there. We're going to pull it back here. Boom, right there in the middle. And this other one we can adjust up just a hair. Now you've got perfect thumbsticks. They are adjusted perfectly. So that is the second way to fix stick drift. And if it ever comes like uncalibrated or out of adjustment, you can just go back in here. So you twist the right one, suck it back up. So you will always be able to adjust this and fix this as your potentiometers wear down. Just go in here and adjust this, and it'll always calibrate it and fix it. So, yep, that's way number 2. But this controller is fixed and good to go. Okay, the last method I'm going to show you to fix stick drift is these right here. These are the Hall Effect sticks. These are really nice. They're really smooth. It's probably the hardest method to do of the 3. I personally think that the second method I showed you is the easiest. But this is a more permanent fix as well, because if these ever start drifting or get uncalibrated, you can always just recalibrate them. But this is probably the most difficult method to do, is install these. But once you get them installed, and after you've done a few of them, it gets pretty easy, pretty straightforward. So I'm going to show you how to install these in a controller.
All these things that we have as creator beings do that, right? I've done it myself. So you do feel it. It's just your ability to connect to souls, real souls, because it's like I said before, like we're all naked.
Okay, and that is it. That is 3 ways to fix controller stick drift. Pretty simple, pretty easy. You can get all this stuff online on either eBay or Amazon. That's where I picked up most of it. So if you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments below. And then if you want to buy any controllers that I have already upgraded to the Hall Effect sticks, the link will be in the description. You can go to our eBay page and you can buy them there. I have a ton in stock. I have Xbox One controllers and I have Xbox Series X controllers. I'm working on PS5 ones, so I'll try to get those available within the next month or so. But that is it. If you guys liked the video, be sure to leave a like and let me know if you have any questions. We'll see you in the next one.